everyone, and welcome to the Week 29 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial calls of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start in LA, where the Galaxy rolled over the Red Bulls 4-0. And with the score already 2-0 in the 64th minute, the Galaxy should have probably had a penalty kick, in my opinion. You see how Red Bulls right back Richard Eckersley tugs on Landon Donovan just as he's about to take a shot at goal. But no call from referee Armando Villarreal. We bounce to Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Colorado, where the visiting San Jose Earthquakes wanted a penalty kick in the 8th minute for an alleged handball by Shane O'Neill. And it sure looks like one in real time. But if we slow it down, it's pretty clear that Chris Wondolowski is the one who pushes O'Neill's arm into the ball. Good no call from referee Juan Guzman. Next, RFK Stadium, where DC beat the Union 1-0. But I thought Philly had a case for a penalty in the 27th minute. There's a ball floated into the box, and Connor Casey chases, but DC defender Bobby Boswell comes in and bumps him from behind. He doesn't let him get to the ball. I thought that was the foul, whether or not Casey actually reaches the ball. Referee Silvio Petrescu looks the other way. I thought Petrescu got it right in the last minute of the match when Maurice Edu takes down Nick De Leon, who's on the break. Because of how far De Leon is from the penalty area and the fact that there's another Union defender right there, I think this is not denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and yellow was the right call. Plenty of controversy in Columbus, where Montreal manager Frank Klopas was even sent off for protests. You see, Klopas didn't think the penalty that led to the Crew's second goal should have been whistled in the first place. But I have to disagree. You see, Jeremy Gagnon-Laparé pulls down Ethan Finlay in the box before the cross ever comes in. I know you missed that, so we'll show it to you again. That's a tough foul to spot by referee Soren Stoica, but it definitely is a foul, and Federico Higuain converts to seal the Crew victory. But what really got under the skin of the Impact were two handballs in the Crew box that went unpunished by the referee. And I think they have a strong case. First, in the 69th minute, Waylon Francis deflects this Jack McInerney header with his arm, but Stoica doesn't call it. And then in the 83rd minute, it looks to me like Tyson Wall does block this Marco Di Vaio shot with his arm as well. The referee says play on. The Impact did finally get a penalty in second half stoppage time when Wall clips Issy Nakajima Ferran in the box. You see, Wall's right foot gets Issy's right foot, but Crew keeper Steve Clark preserves the shutout with a spectacular save. There was penalty kick controversy in Vancouver as well, where the Whitecaps earned two spot kicks called by referee Alan Chapman. The first one came in first half stoppage time when Alvaro Saborio has his right arm draped all over his countryman, Kendall Waston. And the big man goes down with a move worthy of a wily forward, like a Saborio perhaps. But RSL keeper Jeff Attanell does his best Nick Raimondo impression and stops the ensuing penalty from Pedro Morales, who gets to redeem himself later in the match when Carlos Salcedo takes down Eric Hurtado in the box with this wild tackle. This time Morales doesn't miss, and the Caps have the momentary equalizer. And Vancouver supporters will argue they should have had two more penalties in this one, both for fouls committed on midfielder Sebastian Fernandez. The first one came in the 12th minute, and at first it looks like Fernandez took a dive. But when you watch it closely, Nat Borchers actually puts his leg in front of Fernandez and commits the foul, in my opinion. Then in the 51st minute, it's Abdoulaye Mansali shoving Fernandez to the ground. But no call on either incident from referee Alan Chapman. Not sure there's anything you could have asked referee Ismail Elfaf to do about the tackle that led to the unfortunate injury to Timbers captain Will Johnson in Toronto. Both he and Mark Bloom go in really hard for this ball. Nothing malicious from either player, but it results in a broken leg and season over for Johnson. Best wishes to him on a speedy recovery. Only one other play to look at from BMO Field. It's the 20th minute when Stephen Caldwell thought he had scored Toronto's first goal of the match. But assistant Corey Parker gets it right. Caldwell is ahead of the last defender on the service from Michael Bradley. Another good offside flanked by assistant Mark Cahan in Houston. It's the 60th minute, and Robert Earnshaw is offside on this pass. No goal for the Fire, who were shut out at BBVA Compass Stadium. But should the Fire have been playing a man up as early as the 9th minute? There were some who were calling for a red card to Houston's Ricardo Clark for this arm to the head of Razvan Kochis, who was later subbed out of the match. But I think it's a reckless arm by Clark, and yellow card was the right call by referee Jose Carlos Rivero. Next to CenturyLink Field, where the Sounders notched their league-leading 18th win over Chivas USA. But there were some doubts on their last goal in the 51st minute, which put the game away. Obafemi Martin scored it when his shot found a way through, but should his teammate Lamar Nagel have been flagged for offside on the play? There's no doubt he's in an offside position when the ball leaves Martin's foot, but we consulted with PRO, the professional referee organization, and here are the considerations according to the laws of the game. Has he played the ball? No. Has Lamar Nagel challenged an opponent for the ball? No. Is Nagel clearly in the line of vision of an opponent? No. So although it looks like Nagel is attempting to play the ball, and it's clear he distracts the goalkeeper, the words deceive and distract were taken out of the law, so it's a good goal under current guidelines. Another questionable offside came at Sporting Park, where Kellen Rowe was shocked that he was flagged in the 81st minute by assistant Sean Hurd. On the replay, you see that if there's a player who's offside, it's Charlie Davies, but he's not participating. I think that play should have counted, and the Revs would have likely earned a penalty. The Revs would eventually get their game winner through Jermaine Jones just a few minutes later, the capper on a fantastic match that had some real playoff intensity to it. Just how intense? Well, in second half stoppage time, Charlie Davies and Juliao got into it. Davies with a kick and Juliao with a hand to the face. The only one getting a card here, though, it's Davies for simulation. But I think both guys should have been booked for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's all we have for this week. For our editor, Abner Sevis, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time.